Let's start here. See, we will write application for one-to-many relationship. Okay, we'll write application for one-to-many. You can able to see here. I'll explain. Yeah, so this is the document which we discussed yesterday. Okay. So these are the annotations that we are going to use. At the rate one-to-many. Other one is at the rate join column. And when you want to define one-to-many relationship, if you want to map one-to-many association, then you need to create a reference variable of type collection. You need to create a reference variable of type collection. So here my collection type is what? List here. So when we need a reference variable of type collection is whenever you want to define or map one-to-many relationship. I say one category, I want to map one-to-many relationship from category to products. Nothing but one category object has an association with multiple product objects. So whenever you want to define a one-to-many relationship, or whenever you want to map one-to-many association, then you need to create a reference variable. A reference variable of type collection. This is actually called as a one-to-many field. So now we can say if there is one category, that one category has a list of products. So the association is one-to-many. We are mapping one-to-many. To map one-to-many relationship, the requirements are creating a reference variable of type collection. So you create a reference variable, right? You create a reference variable of type. You create a reference variable of type collection in the source entity class. The source of these operations is category. Target of these operations is product, which means if I perform any operation on category, then the operation I would like to perform nothing but I want to propagate the same operation onto the associated products. So if, for example, I'm inserting a new category in database, then I would like to insert the products of the category also. For example, if I'm deleting a category from DB database, I would like to delete the products of the category also. That is what my requirement. This is called propagating the operations. Operation is performed on category, propagated onto the products. So means the source for the operations is the category, target of the operations is the products. So when you want to define one-to-many relationship, you have to remember that we need a reference variable of type collection. So that is actually called one-to-many field. You can use the collection type in place of list. You can use set also. Or you can take collection and you can choose a list or set later for loose coupling. You can directly take here in place of list. You can take what? Collection reference. Collection you can write. Later you choose at the runtime at the client application. You can choose whether you want to use a list or a set. That is your wish. So I took list here, but in place of list, even I can use set. Or if you want a map, even you can use map also. So any of the three, either list, or you can use a set, or you can use a map object. So this is called one-to-many field. And this is called at the rate one-to-many. And yesterday I explained about what the meaning of cascade, cascading the operations. That is nothing but propagating the operations. So what operations I want to propagate here? All operations I want to propagate. All indicating here inserting, updating, and deleting, and also refreshing and detaching. So cascade type all means insert, update, delete, detach, and refresh. So all these operations I would like to propagate onto the associated collection. So that is called meaning of cascade equal to. Yesterday I explained. Join column is to specify the foreign key of the relation. The foreign key column is a category ID FK, which is one join column name, and a reference to column name represents primary key referred by foreign key. So this is a primary key column which is referred by this foreign key. Foreign key column is in the child table. Primary key column is in the parent table. Foreign key in child table will refer the primary key of the parent table, right? That is called the foreign key constraint. And this is simply a product entity. And these are my tables here. Already you know the tables. This is my categories table. This is my products table. And this is the foreign key. This foreign key exists in the child table. And this foreign key refers the primary key in the parent table. Okay. And we want to start today how we can really apply. The same information is given in the points wise here. At the rate one to many has attributes like cascade and fetch. The default fetch type is lazy. And if you want, you can change to eager also. So means the fetch type indicates whether the associated collection to be early loaded or lazy loaded. That we can provide with the help of fetch attribute. If you want to make the associated collection to be early loaded with the category, means what? Simple example, if I am fetching a category, I would like to fetch products of the category also. That is eager fetching. But when I am fetching category, I only want to get the category information, but I do not want to fetch the products of this category. I would like to fetch the category products later, but currently I want to fetch only the category, but not the products. Then I can go for lazy. The default fetch type is lazy here. Okay, means what? The associated products are lazily loaded by default. If you want to load them early, then you can set fetch type as eager. Okay, so this is what yesterday we got it. And join column annotation has attributes like name. Name represents the foreign key column. Reference to column name represents what? Primary key referred by the foreign key. Reference to column name is optional. Name is mandatory. Here cascade attribute is mandatory, but fetch attribute is optional. Cascade is mandatory, but fetch is optional. Why? Because what's the default fetch type? Lazy. But you don't have any default value for cascade. So we must set the cascade attribute value. But there is no need to set the value for fetch attribute in the @ one to many annotation. So let's see today. Today we'll also include. Okay. Right. Today we'll also include product ID, product name. We will also take one more column here, so that we'll cover even that one also. That is a product picture. Picture means image. So product ID, product name, product image, and category ID FK. So we are also going to include what? One image column here. Okay, in this I have not included, but today in our example we will also include one more column called product underscore image. Okay, so means product table has 4 columns. Fourth column of course is a foreign key. Other columns are what? Product ID, product name, product image, and category. Okay, so we include that image column also, and we will set the image, and finally we are going to write our application today. So it will take time. We are going to start writing the code. Okay, so first I will download some of the images, and I'll keep into one folder called images folder at some drive, and so that Let us download some mobile image. I just want to save it in my D drive. In D drive, I want to create a new folder. And the folder name I want to use is images. And under images, I just want to mobile one .jpg extension .jpg. Okay. And say, for example, I want to make it as image 2, that is mobile 2. Is one more image. And finally, this is mobile 3. So enough now currently. Later we'll see if you want more. Okay. That is mobile, all the mobiles only, na? So I just want one more. Only one mobile is enough. So let me download this one. TV1. And let's say okay, some image I want, and let's say, for example, micro oven. Oven. Enough now. Images are okay. Let's start writing the application. So what I'm doing now, my requirement is first I want to create a new Maven project. And I just want to choose the archetype as Maven archetype kickstart. Maven archetype kickstart. That is what I'm using. Maven archetype kickstart. Here artifact ID. I would like to add artifact ID as JPA one to many. That's the project name. And the package name is com.aat.otm one to many .entities is a package name. I'll say yes. I need to say Y here. So I got build success. And here is my application JPA one to many. First, let us open the pom.xml and add all the dependencies. Whatever the dependencies are there. So those dependencies I like to add here. Okay. I can go with MySQL driver, or even I can go with Oracle driver. That is your choice. I like to go with MySQL driver. I will, of course, I'll change. I would like to add all the dependencies here. Okay. I'm using Java 11. So I like to change to Java 11 here. Right. Here I have Oracle driver. Okay, we can use Oracle. Otherwise, you'll go with MySQL. So I would like to go with MySQL. So I want to remove this and I will add okay MySQL related things. That is MySQL driver dependency. So here I'm adding MySQL driver dependency. Done. So first what I do is I will go to src main and I will create a new folder called resources. So now I want to refresh the application, refresh this project once or update the project once. Maven update project. Now the project is updated. What I will do is I will copy meta in a folder. And I'm pasting here. This is my meta in a folder and this is a persistence.xml. So now in this XML, I need to change my entity classes. Remaining all same, but only the entity classes I need to change. So I should write com.aat.otm.entities.category entity. But I also have one more class here, and that is called product entity. So two entity classes I'm going to create now. So these are my entity classes. One is a category entity and other one is a product entity. So the two entity classes I have this time. That's the reason why I'm repeating it for twice. Right? Let me update my project once. Now it is done. Okay. com.aat.otm.entities.category entity. Currently, this class is not available because I have not yet created the class now. Of course, after creating the class, we can get out of this issue. But currently, the class is not yet ready. Okay, so com.aat.entities.otm.entities. But inside this, I want to create two classes now. What are the two classes I want to create? First, I want to create a new class, and the class name is category entity. I will write the code later, but first I want to complete the classes. One is category entity, and the next entity class which I want to create, that is a product entity. One new class I'm creating. Okay, that class name I want to create, that is product entity. So these are my classes now. Now let us update the project once. Okay, let us update the project once. Okay, we are done. We no need to worry about these error symbols and all. They will be automatically erased. We are nothing to worry. Suppose if we take persistence.xml, earlier we got two errors here, but now they are resolved. Okay, let's start writing category entity first. And first of all, so I want to add annotation called @entity, then @table, table name equal to tbl_categories. That's my table. Okay, and that's it. Coming to annotations here, @ID. So private integer category ID, but I want to map it with a column called category underscore ID. So I should use annotation called what? At the rate column. Column name is equal to category underscore ID. What's the next one after this? Private string category name. Sorry, category name, but I want to map it with a column. So column name is what? Column name equal to category underscore name. Category underscore name is the column name, and one to many field required. So I'm writing private, a list of product entity is a type parameter, and LST of products is a reference variable. Import java.util.list. And here, what should I write? At the rate one to many. That's what we discussed yesterday, right? At the rate one to many, which has a cascade attribute and cascade type dot all. Cascade type is an enum, and I'm writing all. Cascade type dot all. Okay. Now this is my what we can call, this is my one to many annotation. At the rate one to many. Next, we also need to represent what? At the rate join column. Okay, at the rate join column, of course. Okay, let's move on. At the rate join column. Join column annotation specifies what? Foreign key column. And what is the foreign key? Category ID FK. I said reference to column name is optional. Okay. Now this is my product entity. So first of all, how can I declare that it is an entity class? At the rate entity. At the rate entity. Next, how can I map it with a table? At the rate table. So table name equal to TBL underscore products. Now here we want what? ID. What is that? Private integer product ID. But I would like to map it with a column called product underscore ID. So column name is different. So column name equal to what? Product underscore ID. Product ID. Okay. What next after this? Private string product name. But I want to map it with a column called what? Column name equal to product underscore name. So let's map this product underscore name. So I want to include image also. So if you want to store an image or retrieve an image, we should take the property as a byte array. To store an image into database, we need a byte array. So what I'm taking here, private byte array product image. And it is a, we can call it as a column name is product underscore image. One more column I want inside my table, product image. And we should declare it as a large object, LOB. LOB meaning large object. Lob type it is. So at the rate LOB and at the rate column. Two annotations you have to use because this column is a lob type, large object type in database. It is binary large object, blob type. If the column is a blob type or clob type, then the annotation we have to use is lob at the rate LOB, which is indicating that it is a large object. And remaining all setters and getters here. So let us get the setters and getters, all the setters and getters. And also I would like to have a toString method. If you want, you can just add the toString method also as well, right? Okay, I'm not overriding toString method, but later based on requirement, we'll do that. And here also the same thing. I want to get all the setters and getters. Foreign key does not have any property. Foreign key is a join column. So we don't require any variable to map it with the foreign key. Foreign key is called join column. Foreign key value is automatically updated by Hibernate only. So you no need to create a variable inside your class to map it with the foreign key. Okay, right. Foreign key is called join column. So for foreign key, we don't require any property. Next, let's go ahead. Okay, what are the things next? After creating the entity classes, let us start creating the DAO. So I want to start creating new package first. So I want to use com.ait.otm.dao. And DAO, first I want to create an interface, right? And the interface I would like to use is, say, I like to use an interface called, say, category DAO. That's my interface. And yeah, basically I want to say void as return type. Return type is void. And I want to use method called save category. And I want to pass object as category entity. Means what? I want to save a new category in the database. Category entity is what I'm going to pass. It's a first method. The second method requirement is void. I can say void, otherwise I can say use return type as category entity. I'll tell you. Return type is category entity. Fetch category is a method based on category ID. Integer category ID. Based on ID, what I want to do, fetch the category from DB. Right? Fetch the category from DB. Next one is void. Remove category. Pass the category ID. I want to remove this category based on ID of the category, right? So we want to see what, whenever we save a category, we want to know whether the products of this category also inserted in the database or not. When we remove the category, whether the products of this category also removed from the database or not. And whenever you load a category, we want to see whether products of this category also loaded from the database or not. So these are the three operations we want to implement over here. What are the three operations? Save category, fetch category, and remove category. This is my DAO interface. But we should have implementation now. So I would like to have a new package. So the package name is DAO.impl. And create a new class over there. Inside this package, let us create a new class. Category DAO IMPL. I want a name. It implements category DAO. Okay. And to perform any operations, what we need first? What we need the, what is that? Yes, we need entity manager. I repeat once again, what we need? Entity manager. So for that, we need entity manager factory. So private entity manager factory equal to persistence dot what? Persistence dot create entity manager factory of test. Test is the unit name. persistence unit name. First, what I want to do here, I want to save a category. If I want to save a new category in the database, first we need entity manager. So what I'm writing, entity manager em equal to factory dot create entity manager. Okay. But if I want to save the category, if I want to persist the category, we need transaction, because save means insert operation. So first what we need, entity transaction t equal to em dot get transaction. Correct? After getting the entity transaction object, t dot begin, right? And now I like to say try block. In try block, what I want to write after begin, em dot persist of the category entity. If it is really persisted successfully, then commit and write one SOP saying that what category with the products are persisted into database. Some message I'm writing. Okay, suppose if there is an issue occurred, then control enters into catch block. What I want to in catch block, roll back it, display the stack trace of the exception, print stack trace. Finally, close the entity manager, em.close. Okay. So, this is a simple one where basically you can understand it very easily. So what I'm doing here, persist. What I want to persist this entity. This entity means which entity? Category entity object. But this category has an association with list of products. Whenever I save category, what will be saved in database? Products of the category also will be saved in database. Because we written cascade equal to what we written here, cascade attribute value, cascade type dot all. Cascade attribute represents what? The operations to be propagated onto the associated collection. What operations to be propagated? I gave all. All means inserting, updating, deleting, refreshing, and detaching. These 5 comes under all. Okay. Basically, this attribute will play an important role in one-to-many association. So this field is called as what field? One-to-many field. It is a one-to-many field. Yes. Anyhow, the first operation, one operation is ready. Save category. What's the other operation? DAO. Fetch category. To fetch the category, first we need entity manager. What we need? Entity manager. Entity manager is mandatory to perform the find operation. Okay. But transaction is not required. No transaction required. What I can write? Category entity equals to em dot. We have a method called what? Find. Category entity dot class, comma. What ID next? Category ID. Based on ID, get the category, close entity manager, return that entity. So what is the purpose of this operation? Is to retrieve, fetch a category based on ID. Which method of entity manager you have to call? Find method. What's the next one? Remove category. What's the next one? Remove category. Okay. So again, I need entity manager, obviously. I need not only entity manager, even I need entity transaction also. Because we are deleting now. Yes. Let us move it to this place. And here I can start now, right? Tell me now. This is to remove now. If I want to remove, first I need to get it. If I want to remove, first what I should do? I should get it. I should get it. I got it. Then I can begin the transaction, right? T dot begin. T dot begin. What I want to do? EM dot remove. Remove this entity. Then commit. Suppose if there is an issue, you can write your code in try block. Why not? You can write your code in try block. Try block. System.out.println. What I can write? What I can write? Okay, category is removed successfully. Category with products is removed. Tell me, category with products is removed successfully. Category with products is removed from DB. Okay, just one message. Define the cache block. What happens in case if there is an exception occurred? During this removal, if exception occurred, first what do you do? Roll back and print the stack trace of the exception. Finally, em dot close. Got it now? That's all. Okay. So what are the three operations we are doing here? One is save category. Next one is fetch category. Next one is remove category. Okay. This is my DAO class. But now if I want to test all these methods, whether these methods are working or not working. So I should call these methods from my main class now. So from main class, we'll call the DAO and we'll check whether the operations are working or not working. So for that, now this main class is going to have a lot of code now. Let's create a new package. com.aat.otm.test. One new package I'm creating. I'm creating new class here with main method. And a class name I want to make it as tester. I want to name my class name as tester always. Okay. Right. First create a DAO object. What's my DAO interface name? Category DAO. DAO equals to new category DAO IMPL. Correct? First, which operation I want to call? What operation I want to call? Save category is what I want to call. Save category method. But if I want to call the save category method, I have to pass category object now. If I want to call this method, I have to pass what? Category entity. Okay, I'll create a category entity. Okay. So here, lot of code required here. Lot of code required here, I'll tell you. Look at this. Category entity. Category entity equal to new category entity. Means what I created? Category entity. But I have to set the data now. What I need to set first? Category entity dot set category ID. Category ID 12101. Next, category entity dot set category name. Say for example, category name is electronics. What's the category name? Electronics. Electronics is a category. Okay. Now this is a category, but we want to map what kind of association between category and products? One-to-many. To map one-to-many association between the category and the products of the category, if I want to map them as a one-to-many, first I need product entities now. So first what I want to do? I want to create one or two product entities. Product entity 1 equal to new product entity. Right? Set now. product entity 1 dot set product ID. Product ID 22098 What is this one? Product ID. Next one, product name. Product name mobile. Product name is mobile. Any something. Product name is mobile. Okay, right? Product name is mobile. Okay. Image is there now, but directly we cannot set the image. Let us see how to set the image now. You know, image is bytes, right? Suppose if you take product entity, tell me to set the image. I need to set what array? Byte array. Means what? I have to convert that image file into bytes. So this is where big code required here. I'll tell you. First, we should create file input stream object. What object now? File input stream to read the bytes. Okay. And before creating file input stream, first create a file object. Pass the file object as an argument to file input stream. Create a file object, then create a file input stream object. Okay. Then read the bytes of the file into byte array. Then set that byte array to the product entity. Means first what should I do? Create a file object. See, file equal to new file of file path d:// in Java we should write. In Windows systems 2 slashes means double slash we need to write d//images/mobile1.jpg. This is a path. This is the path. Okay. Choose the file as java.io.file. Import the class as java.io.file. Finish it. I will show you. If you look at my system, where is my image? The path of the image is what? Images folder in D drive. These are the images, right? So I want to use this image now. What is this? Mobile1.jpg. Mobile1.jpg. Correct. This is a path. This is a file path. Now create a byte array. Byte array. Suppose image bytes is equal to new byte array of how much size we want, length of the file. How much we want? Length of the file. File.length. Okay, but length returns what? Long. But array cannot be created with long type. I mean, array size cannot be long. Array size must be integer only. Array size must be integer only. Typecast it into integer. Typecast it into integer. Okay. Do remember this. Whenever you are creating any array, array size must be integer. You cannot create an array size with long type. Long type. Okay. Array size must be always integer. But this length method returns what? Long. Typecast a long to what type? Int. This is called typecasting. It's called typecasting, type conversion. What type of type conversion? Explicit type conversion. You know, implicit type conversion and explicit type conversion. This comes under what category? Explicit type conversion. Okay. Okay. Now, file input stream. File input stream. FIS equal to new file input stream of file. FIS dot read into image bytes. Okay, right? And the file input stream throws exception, IO exception. What is it? File not found exception, IO exception, like that. They are all checked exceptions. So what I'm writing simply, I don't want to handle them. I do not want to write try catch blocks to handle it. Then what can I do? I can propagate. I can propagate it to the caller, right? So how can I do that? Okay, how can I propagate to the caller by writing? Throws exception. Throws exception. Now you see I don't have any error. Okay. Now product entity 1 dot set product image of image bytes. Okay. Now I'm giving 1 minute time. Understand the product entity what I did. I'm not going to speak anything. If you have any query, then you can ask me at that time. If you have any query, you can add in chat box. So first I'm giving 1 minute time. Understand what objects I created so far. What is the code I have written here? Please understand it first. Okay, let's go ahead. Okay. Right. Okay. So now anyhow, this is a code. Now one entity ready. Which entity is ready? Product entity. It's a first entity. This is product entity 1. This is mobile, right? This is mobile product now. So I used product entity 1. Otherwise I can say mobile product, whatever it is, I can write reference variable name can be any name. This is mobile. But I want to create one more product entity for TV and other one for micro oven. Means one category. What's the category name? Electronics. This category, I want to map one category. Okay. One category to many products. How many products I want? 3. One mobile, one TV, one micro oven. These are all comes under electronics category only, na? Right. So means I need second one. I need second one. Copy. Same variable names I cannot use. I'll change the variable names. Okay. This is product entity 2. 2. Product ID different, na? So product ID 670832. What is 670832? ID. Product name TV, television. But image is a different one, na? TV1. You can see I have an image called TV1. This one. TV1. Right. And this is image bytes underscore TV. This is file 2. This is FIS2. This is FIS2 dot read. This is image bytes underscore TV. Underscore TV. image bytes underscore TV. This is product entity 2. Now this is the second product. This is television product. Next, one more time. Next, one more time. This is file2.length. Next, one more time. Okay. This is product entity 3. This is 3. ID different. ID different. Okay. So 721-897. It is micro oven. Micro oven. Micro oven. Okay. Micro oven. Now, this is file 3. This is what is the image name I want to see? moven.jpg. moven.jpg. And this is image bytes underscore moven, means micro oven. This is file 3 dot length. This is FIS3. This is file 3 parameter. This is FIS3 dot read. Underscore moven. This is entity 3. This is underscore moven. Let us see. Yeah, done. Now, how many products I created? 3. This is entity 1. Now, this is entity 2. This is entity 3. Now, how can I map one category with these products? Collection is required. So, observe here, list of what entity? Product entity, LST of products equal to arrays dot as list of product entity 1, comma, product entity 2, comma, product entity 3. Right. Now, what is created by this line? By adding this line, what is created? List is created with how many objects? 3 objects. What are they? Product entity 1, product entity 2, product entity 3. You got my point? Right. Next, look at this. Category entity dot set LST of products. This line is important because this line is for what? Is to set the products. To whom? Category. Now, this is the way of mapping one to many. One category has list of products, right? That list may contain single product, 2 products, 3 products, or 100 products also. For example, if the list has 100 products, now there is a one-to-many association between category and 100 products. The list has 3 products in our case, then one category has 3 products. It is called what kind of relationship? One-to-many. Now, DAO dot save category. Let us try. Will this application is going to work for us or not? Okay, right? Let us try whether this is going to work for us or not. Okay. Sure. Let us try this whether it's going to work for us or not. Only one operation I'm calling. Which operation? save category is the only one operation I'm calling save category. That's all. Only save category. Okay. Let us try this. Let us run this application. So what's the message I got? Category with products are persisted into the database. But I have to check now. So I'll open MySQL Workbench. I'll open MySQL Workbench. Okay, Workbench. And here I want to know first of all, okay, use database name as a test. These are tables now. So what are the two tables created? TBL underscore categories and TBL underscore products. First, what I want to say? Select a star from TBL underscore categories. TBL underscore categories. Okay. One category inserted. 12101. Category name electronics. Next one. Select a star from TBL underscore products. Okay. So how many products inserted here? Okay, it is updated null micro oven products table I have already with me. That's the reason why it is giving these many things. I'll do one thing. I'll tell you. First, let me drop both the tables. I'll again explain, guys. Please understand. TBL underscore products. There is nothing wrong in our. There is nothing wrong in my code. I would like to drop the table so that again I will run the application and you can see the proper output there. Otherwise, we'll get confusion. Let me run my application again. Okay, now I can show you. Select a star from TBL underscore categories. Okay, next query. Select a star from TBL underscore products. Okay, right? So how many products are inserted? 3. What is a foreign key column in all these 3? Category ID only, na? Right. This is called what kind of association? One to many. One to many is mapped here, right? Okay. Who took care of inserting these products into DB? Hibernate. Nothing but your JPA. Okay, right? This is what type? This is product image is what type here? blob type, right? Blob type, blob type, blob type. These are images, na? Okay. Let us do one thing. We can able to see that image. Okay. Open value in editor. Right click and open value in editor. We want image now. This is an image, right? This is what mobile. If I want to see television now, right click on blob, open value in editor. You see here, this is what? TV. Next one, open value in editor. It is what? Micro oven. So totally how many images are inserted in the DB now? 3 images. One is mobile. Next one is TV. Next one is micro oven. Actually, if you look at my code, once again, what I'm actually saving? Category. But this category, we mapped what? One to many relationship between what and what? Category and products. When you want to map one to many relationship between a category and a group of products, you need collection. What do you need? Collection. Which type of collection object I created? List. And how many products I have added to the list? 3. Means what I can say? I have mapped one to many relationship between one category and 3 products. List of products. How many objects are there in list? 3. One to many. Got my point? Right. So what are all the annotations? Just observe it once again, because this is important to understand all other. This is an important one to understand about all the remaining relationships. See what I did here. Look at the annotations called one to many, and look at the annotation called join column. Okay, look at the annotation called what? Look at the annotation called one to many. Look at the annotation called what? Join column. What is the purpose of one to many? Why we are adding this annotation called @ one to many? To specify that this field is a one to many field. Because what type of association we want to map? One to many. So for that we need one to many field, na? Right? One to many field means you need a reference variable of type collection. Here what type of collection I used? I have used what type of collection over here? List. But you can also use what? Set. Or even you can use map also. Okay, but generally mostly we use list. Okay, right. What is join column? Join column means foreign key column. Foreign key column, right? Foreign key column. Join column represents foreign key column. Join column is to specify the foreign key of the relationship. One to many is to specify one to many relationship, right? Okay. So whenever you want to map one to many relationship, what is required in your source entity class? Who is your source entity class here? Category, because your application is performing the CRUD operations on category. Means what? Your application is going to save category. Your application is going to remove category. Your application is going to read category. Nothing but your application is performing CRUD operations on category. Means who is the source of the operation? Category. Who is the target of the operation? Product. Product. Like that you need to identify which entity is the source and which entity is the target. Okay, right? So basically, guys, write in chat box, have you understood what is happened here? Have you understood it or not? Have you understood what happened here or not? Write in chat box. Okay. Got my point? Everybody, write in chat box, have you understood it or not? Okay. Then I will go further. Just what you need to understand is these 2-3 lines only. Remaining all just object creations. Only these 2-3 lines you have to understand. So please tell me, have you understood it or not? And so that I will go ahead. Okay. Right. Let's move on. Okay, let's move on. Okay. Let us identify once again. See, I'm just giving a kind of comment here. This is creating a category entity. Here, what we are doing, create a category instance. I'm creating category entity instance. So here, what I did, I create product entity instance 1. After that, what I did, I created product entity instance 2. Then next I have created product entity instance 3. Product entity instance 3. So you have to understand about how to store an image in the database using Hibernate or using JPA. Okay. Now next what I did here? What I did here? Add product entity instances to collection. To which collection I'm adding? List. Then here set the collection to category entity. To the category entity or a category entity instance. So tell me, for example, I'm asking you, for example, I have a customer entity class. I have a customer entity class. I'm asking you, I have a customer entity class. I have a loan entity class also. Suppose I have customer entity and another entity class name is loan entity. Two entity classes are there. I want to, requirement is what? I want to map one-to-many relationship between category and, between customer and loans. Okay, because one customer can have multiple loans in the bank, right? What kind of association I want to map? I want to map one-to-many relationship. I want to map. Tell me, if I want to map one-to-many relationship, my question to you is, which entity is a source entity class and which is a target entity class? Write in the chat box now. Yeah, tell me now. Who is the source for the operations here? Is the customer. And who is the target of the operations? Loan. My question to you now. In which entity class you need a collection variable? In which entity class you need a collection variable? In customer entity class or in loan entity class? Where? Write in the chat box. Where I should have a collection variable. My question is, do you need in customer or do you need in loan? Right. Where do you require? I repeat again. Okay. To map one-to-many relationship, we need a collection variable. That collection variable is required in which entity class? That's a question. That collection variable is required in which entity class? Is it in customer entity or is it in loan entity? Yeah. Yeah. Correct. Yeah. Always remember, we need that collection reference in source entity class. Who is a source entity class here? Customer entity. Means what? Suppose if my class name is customer entity, what I will write here? Private list of loan entity, LST of loans. Right? And what annotations I have to add over here? What annotations I have to write here? @ one-to-many and cascade attribute you need to write. Next, one more. @ join column. Join column specifies foreign key column of the relationship, right? One to many specifies it is a one to many field, nothing but one to many relationship. Like this, you need to write. Okay, right? Good. For example, my next question to you. For example, I have one customer entity and multiple loan entities. Loan entity underscore personal. Loan entity underscore home. Loan entity underscore vehicle. Then tell me, how do you map one to many relationship between the customer entity and these three loan entities? How do you map one to many? Tell me the code. How do you map one to many relationship between customer entity and these three loan entities? How do you map? Tell me the code. What is the code required? Write in the chat box. Write it in the chat box. Write it in the chat box. My requirement is what? I have a customer entity. I have three loan entities. My requirement is what? I want to map. What I want to map? One to many relationship I want to map. So how do you map the one to many relationship between the customer entity and these three loan entities? How do you map? How do you map? Yeah. How can you map them? How can you map one to many? How can you map one to many from this customer entity to the three loan entities? How can you map one to many relation between them? First, what I have to do? Observe here in my code. See, first what I did here. Add product entity instances to collection. Then set the collection to the category entity instance, right? Now you tell me here what to do. First, what should I do? Add these loan entities to collection. Then set the collection to customer entity. Tell me the code. Tell me the code. Write the code in chat box. List of what entity? Customer entity. Yeah. List of customer entity means what? You want to add customer objects. But to the list you have to add customer objects or loan objects? Loan objects, na? Then list of loan entity, LST of loans equal to, tell me, LST of loans equal to what should I write? Arrays dot as list of how many? 3. What are the 3? Loan entity personal, comma, loan entity home, comma, loan entity vehicle. Okay, I'm not writing, but just I won't tell you. 3. 1, 2, 3. Then customer entity dot set LST of loans of LST of loans. So whenever you want to map one to many, association, first what I have to do? First add the target objects to the collection. Then set the collection to the source. Tell me who is the target of the operations here? Loan. Who is the source of the operations? Customer. Whenever you want to map one to many, what I have to do first? Add the target entities to collection. Then set that collection to source entity. Who is the source of the operations here? Customer. Who is the target of the operations here? Loans. This is how you have to understand. Okay. Anyhow, this example is not fully completed. This example is not fully completed because we only tested what operation? Save operation. But what are the other DO operations we have? Fetch category and remove category. Currently only what is completed? Save category. These two we'll understand in the tomorrow's class. After that, I will give this example to you. Right? Meanwhile, you can try. I will give my example after completing the remaining operations also. What are the remaining operations we need to test? Fetch category. Next one, remove category. Currently, what is ready? Save category, right? And you got a new thing in the application is what? Defining one-to-many association and also how to store images. How can you store an image into database using Hibernate or using JPA? By creating byte array. What is it? Byte array. And what is the annotation to be used? What is the annotation to be used? Is @lob. Lob stands for large objects. Okay, large objects. Okay, whenever you take any byte array, then you have to use lob. @lob is annotation. Okay, let's continue on tomorrow. That's for today. After completing this example, then I will post this example to you.